Here's all the food I made for my husband to eat today. I did a couple of hours of batch cooking and meal prep for the week, and my husband always eats so well on days like this. First, I made a chicken mix for a sandwich filler using chicken breast and bacon rashers. I never waste anything, and I always save the bacon fat because there's so much flavour. My mum always tells me how she used to eat it on toast as a child. I chopped up some spring onions too, and I haven't needed to buy any onions for so long because I'm just using up spring onions from the garden now. Chicken mix is such an easy sandwich filler to add hidden veggies into, and I like to add sweet corn as well. This lasts up to 5 days, but in my household doesn't normally last more than 3 because my husband just eats it straight out of the tub. I made a really quick batch of bread rolls, and I shaped these ones so they were a bit longer, a bit like a Subway foot-long sandwich length, but you can shape them however you want, and the recipe for this is linked in my bio. I then nipped out into the garden to pick some lettuce for the sandwich. Washing lettuce is literally the bane of my life, so instead I just pick off the outer leaves until it looks like it does when you buy it from the supermarket. And it's only when you grow your own food you actually realise how big the plants are compared to what you see on the shelves. And I know it's just the lettuce, but these were the most beautiful lettuce leaves I've ever grown. This is so random, but I've been deep diving into how good nettles are for you, and seeing as I've got about 1 million growing in my garden, I thought I'd make them into a cake. I really do have quite an obsession with hiding vegetables in things and disguising healthy foods. I used to be a professional cake maker, and so of course my preference is to hide these things in cake. I made this into a nettle and lemon drizzle cake, and it's an absolute rule that lemon drizzle has to be served in a bundt tin. And I decorated it with some edible flowers from the garden, pansies and thyme. Then I found some avocado, which was on the brink of turning brown, and some rather neglected beetroot at the back of the fridge. And you guessed it, I'm turning it into cake. This was just my regular chocolate cake recipe, which is linked in my bio, and all I did was puree up the beetroot and avocado and add it in. My kids absolutely love these, and I made mini ones for their packed lunches too. Boiled eggs are a real staple as a non-meat protein source, but I like to find different ways to jazz them up, and this week it was deviled eggs. He eats a minimum of 4 eggs a day, so I like to keep a few different egg recipes on rotation. A lot of these things I can put in my children's packed lunches as well, which means they're eating less ultra-processed foods. The only thing I can't give them is anything with nuts, which is so annoying because nuts are such a good non-meat protein source. I know this looks like a lot of food, but this is his breakfast and lunch, and I know he's going to be with his work buddy all day tomorrow, so I packed him extra cakes for them to share. Him taking packed lunches to work saves us so much money because he can easily spend £30 in London on lunch. For dinner, when he got home, I made jacket potatoes covered in the bacon fat from earlier. You definitely don't need to add salt when using bacon fat, only pepper. The kids just had beans and cheese on their potato because they'd already had loads of deviled eggs and nettle cake. Of course, the chicken sandwich mix I made earlier doesn't just need to be used for sandwiches, it's also a really great topping on jacket potatoes. He had the leftover beans too because we don't waste anything. I got some lovely tomatoes from the market, and they're tasting so good at the moment because they're in season. Of course, I had to serve it with the first basil harvest of the year.